I just going to, I just prepare some slide to give the context, and after I will show you a demo. So I'm working at DataGalaxy, which is a data catalog solution. We do like basic data catalog all do. So we have the SCAD part for all our connector, the managed part, well, like business and tech people are sharing all their knowledge, and the share part with all our connector for like Slack, Teams, Confluence, and so on. But I will go further about DataGalaxy when we show you a demo about our connector. So actually, we have two use cases in DataGalaxy about OpenLineage. We learned about it like 8 months ago. It was Julien, one of our PM, who discovered OpenLineage. So when we discovered OpenLineage, we wanted to have a connector for it because some of our clients was using it. But at the same time, we were developing an observability tool for our Python script, just to know like how many time our workflow took in our client sides, how like number of rows every table go up every day and stuff like that. So we were working on a kind of internal product in order to make this observability happen. And when we discover OpenLineage, we decide to use OpenLineage as our main observability tool for all our data pipeline. So we have two use cases through OpenLineage. The first one is our internal use case. That's what I'm going to show you today and share with you how we are using OpenLineage internally. And the second, the other stuff here, it's our OpenLineage connector. So as a data catalog, we propose the OpenLineage connector. For now, it's in beta, but we had our tech summit months ago, and Julien was there in order to present OpenLineage. And we present the beta of our connector. So I think at the end of the summer, we can come back to the monthly meeting in order to show you our OpenLineage connector. But for today, I'm just going to show you how we use internally OpenLineage into our different data workflow. So just to give you a little context, we are using OpenLineage in two different projects. The first one, it's a project and a SaaS solution we have called DataGalaxy Observability, before named DataRedKite, with a solution about observability through DataGalaxy. So we have information about user activities through data lake urbanization. It's work on Azure and AWS. And the particularity of it, it's all our SaaS solution on the client side. So we have a Databricks storage account or bucket history deploying on the client side, and we just receive information in our part like a observability metric, like OpenLineage information, and we put back information through DataGalaxy, which is our data catalog. So we are using OpenLineage in order to check the health of all our solution deployed in our different client environment. We decide to use a JSON file in order to receive the information, and through the JSON file, we push it back to Marquez afterward. We choose to send information through JSON because first we are using Marquez, but because our connector is going to be GA at the end of the summer, we are migrating from Marquez to DataGalaxy in order to check our different data workflow. So that's why we are asking our client to push files through our system, so we can like check all metrics about our solution. And the second use case, we're using OpenLineage. It's our own data centralization solution. So because we are a SaaS company, we have 100 of different instances in different cloud providers, and all our data are centralized like a normal like lakehouse pattern. And we are using OpenLineage in order to have observability in all our internal centralized ecosystem. So it's a simple like lakehouse pattern. So we are using bronze, silver, gold pattern with Databricks on the top. And all our scripts are in PySpark, and we are using OpenLineage in order to know the health of our different pipelines. So I'm going to show you two abstracts we are using in OpenLineage because we're, well, one of the biggest challenges we have, we have a very small data team. For a while, it was just me for all the data team. And after we have like junior ones. In order to simplify how they work, we make some abstract for them. So we have a global layer, who I'm going to show you, with like abstracts the OpenLineage library for all the company. And we have another abstract for the applicative layers that we built, the one in observability and the one in the data centralization part. So I'm just going to show you how we like abstract the different information in order to help our young developer to have OpenLineage everywhere in the different tasks or different workflows. So they don't have to do almost anything because we abstract all the library for them. Yeah, so I'm just going to go deep into the two library we use. The first one is lib_metric_lineage, and the second one is the applicative layer part. And I'm going to show you the observability part on how we use it in our different tasks. So I'm already like launched a market application. So what I did, I will show you after the demo, but I just get some OpenLineage output files from our dev environment. So I choose just some files, and I just put it directly with a curl into Marquez in order to show you what's the result at the end. So the first abstraction we have, it's what we call lib_metric_lineage. It's an abstraction in order to simplify the way we are using OpenLineage. So we are using the metric lines inside, and we had two steps. The first one, what we need a file transport method in order to push all output from OpenLineage to files. Nowadays, there is no file transport method, but I'm working with Jakub in order to put this part back to the community. And I have a pair open in order to put the file transport directly through OpenLineage. So this part is going to be on directly on the open source part, so it will be useless afterward to use it. But the other part we do, it's we abstract the OpenLineage method in order to create directly all the different methods we are using. So we have an executable task using from the workflow and task. And what we are doing is just rewriting the start, complete, and fail for our developers, so they can just call start, complete, and fail. And we already init everything for them. So we are calling the random events for them, so they don't have to know how to use OpenLineage. They are just using our library, which is more simpler for them. And we add some exception that because we are defining a workflow and task, and everything works on Databricks. The parent is defined, and it can live a task which cannot live without a parent. So a Databricks task cannot live without a Databricks workflow. So we are creating some exception in order to have all time what we want through our workflow. So that's just the first library we are using, and we are going to add more feature after, depending on the data engineer needs. And we have a second library. So this library is an applicative library. So in each project, we are using another libraries in order to adapt OpenLineage through our different workflow. So basically, if I take just a very simple task we have, our developer adjust the only stuff they do, it's setting the task. So it starts all the flow for them, and they just have to give us the name of the task, the only stuff we ask, because the parent run ID, it's a run ID generated by Databricks. So it's a run ID Databricks automatically create every time you run a workflow. And because it's not UID4, we transform it in order to map the run ID, the needed run ID. So we already give it for them. So they just start the task. The only step they need to do is that. And after, they have to give it back the source and the target. And I'm going to show you that we did some stuff in order to help them to make it simpler. And they just have to complete the task, and or if it's work, or fail the task if it's not. So they just have to give us the table name, the mount point. If it's a data table, we have three kind of data source. It's delta tables, bucket extra file, and storage account on Azure. So what we are doing for them, we are just make it simple for them. So the only stuff they are using is set task. And what we are doing here, we are just using some information we have in our context, like the customer name, the path we have stored in our environment. We instantiate the metric, the run ID we are doing here. And the run ID is the Databricks run ID workflow. And we create two data sets for them. One is delta, the other one is storage. And what we are doing, if it's delta, we just getting the rows inside for them. And if it's S3 bucket or storage account, we are getting the number of size of the files and the number of files there is in the specific folder they are going to ingest. So we have two methods they need to call. It's set for workflow, who is going to start the first workflow, and set task, who is going to set a task and is going to get back the workflow with the run ID, which is Databricks workflow run ID. So that's the only stuff they have to call. And in order to simplify how they move their task, we have always two tasks. The first one is start workflow, what's here, which just starting the workflow. It's the first task they call, and stop workflow, and it just stop the workflow. And all the tasks they are putting back are in the middle. And so I'm just going to quickly show you one of our Databricks workflow and how it shows on Marquez. Yeah, so we are mostly working just with Databricks. So this is our task, like our workflow, and we always have a start metering monitoring and stop metering monitoring at the end, which is just to start the workflow, and after they can add their task in the middle. And we always have an export metric monitoring, which is getting all the JSON file from our file transport class and sending them back to one of our storage accounts. So this is for the observability part. So because our SaaS solution is on the client part, this part make possible to send back all the files we need in order to check the health of our solution. And yeah, and for the one who are familiar with Databricks, we are using the parent run ID attribute that you can use, and that's unique run ID through one workflow using by Databricks. So that's how we convert that to the OpenLineage run ID in order to have the same for all our tasks. And when we push that back to Marquez, yeah, over here, so we have our lineage back. So the same workflow I showed you. We have all our bucket STR file here. We have our different information. So I put just 2 run here for the demo because I couldn't really use our environment test. So I kind of create fake one for the demonstration. And during the run, yeah, for example, if I take this delta table, we have the size and the row count. So we can, like, through Marquez, we're using the tool in order to know, like, if all our jobs are succeed. And we are analyze how, like, our workflow works. So through the different augmentation of the row count, the size, how many, like, time or task or workflow takes. So we are using the tool in order, like, to follow up all our SaaS solution through our different clients. Yeah, I think, yeah, I took like 10 minutes, but yeah, that was the demo I want to show you. Today, it's how we are using OpenLineage in DataGalaxy. And at the end of the summer, I could show you how all this information, we are going to move in all this information through DataGalaxy, through our DataGalaxy OpenLineage connectors. So it will be the second part on how we are now using OpenLineage through our own solution called DataGalaxy.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Alex.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Any questions? Ernie, you're muted.
Yeah, thanks. Great job, Alex. I'm wondering, have you gotten any pushback from developers about, implementing the set task and telling you about the status? I mean, the way you've done it makes it almost painless, but I'm just wondering if developers had any particular feedback for you on that.
Well, first, we made less stuff for them. Like, we asked them to, it's like the second or third interaction we made about this library, because first we asked them to create their own statistic, and it was kind of painless for them to do it. So we abstract all we can for them, and now they are kind of pretty happy. But because they are junior, we are pushing back so they can understand the layer and the root. And, like, our first goal was to use it quickly, so all developer can add just this set task to all their different tasks. So it was very easy for them. But now our next step, it's to make understand the underwood layer to all our developers, so they can by themselves make live, like, our library. But for now, they are kind of happy because they don't have a lot of stuff to do. So it's kind of painless for them.
Any other question? Oh, yeah.
So just to follow up on that, would you say that one solution has been lessening the testing load?
Sorry, so sorry. I don't...
Sorry, would you say that one thing that OpenLineage has done for you is lessen the burden of testing?
Yeah, totally. And it's helping us like knowing if our job are healthy, and if there is an issue, we can go deeper as the log from the client, and it's help us like to check everything right.
Thank you.
Okay, last call for questions. Thank you very much, Alex. That was very in-depth walkthrough the usage. I'm looking forward to hear more about the DataGalaxy OpenLineage integration.